Hey guys, just Coleman here from Just Photo and Video. Today I'll be doing a quick test of the Canon RF 16mm f2.8. Currently you're looking at a view from the 24-70 f2.8 and this is what the field of view looks like. I'll be switching over to the 60mm right now so you guys can take a look at what that looks like. This is the field of view on the Canon RF 16mm f2.8 compared to the field of view on the Canon RF 24-70 f2.8. So the ND filter that I'm using is a 43mm thread ND filter from Neweer. It's not the best ND filter. It's ND2 to ND400 filter, gives you 8.5 stops. However, this ND filter is only good for roughly 7 stops. Anything over ND100 and it's not recommendable. You can't really use this filter at its max intensity, and I'll show you why. So if we head to max, we get that dreaded X spot and the camera can no longer focus. It's really bad. This is what the image would look like with no ND filter, recording 24 frames per second with a shutter speed of 1/50th of a second. So to get some color and some details in the shot, I am going to start increasing the ND filter strength and take a look at the sky and the grass as well as I roll through. Now you can see the Capitol, and now you can see the sky. So right there, it's roughly ND 100. If I push this any further, you can see that the black X spots start to come into frame. So we'll go back to ND 100. The last thing I want to test with this camera is the autofocus system. As you guys can see, it's locked onto my eyes right now, but let me step out of frame and we'll do a few tests. So if I am coming into the frame from camera left or camera right, you can see it instantly locks onto my eyes. That autofocus system is super sharp, and if I get even closer to the camera, you guys can see that I am still locked into focus. I'll go all the ways away. I'll turn my head, and you can see it is still locked onto me. I will look in the other direction. It should still be locked onto me at this point. Even when I turn my back and ready for me when I turn around, it should still have me back in focus. So you guys can tell me what that looks like. I can't see what it's like right now. I won't be able to tell what it's doing until I get back in front of a computer. It is really, really sticky. Everywhere I go, that autofocus is just locked onto my eyes. So I'm very impressed with the autofocus performance of this camera and the performance of the lens so far as well. So let's talk about a few things that I like about this particular lens. First thing I want to start with is the weight. This is really lightweight compared to the 24-70 f2.8 RF lens. This thing is like a feather to carry around compared to that lens. So the other thing that I like about this lens is the price. It also is on my cons list, but I really do think I had to add it to the pros list. Compared to the other RF lenses that we have out there, this thing is pretty cheap at $299. And the next thing that I do like about this lens is the sharpness. The images that I've been able to get so far has been very, very nice out of camera. Let's talk about a few things that I don't like. Earlier I mentioned the price. $299 is not really bad considering what the cost of the other RF lenses are. However, $299 for a lens like this, it's, in my opinion, cheaply made. It's not the quietest. I think a third party could put out something that's a lot better for this price or even less. The second thing that I don't like about this lens is the loud autofocus system. The SDM motor in this particular lens is just super, super loud compared to the motors that are in the L series. So that's about wraps it up for this quick test of the Canon RF 16mm f2.8 SDM. This is not a full review. That one is coming later. If you're interested in seeing that video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel.